a DOJ who refused to publish the Nashville Manifesto for fear of stigmatizing mental illness, inspiring more violence, and inflaming the public, chose instead to publish a letter from Trump's second would-be assassin offering a $150,000 bounty on the former president's head. Apparently, they don't find that very inflammatory. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. The logic on this one is pretty clear. I saw a little video over the weekend where the White House press secretary referred once again to Trump as a threat, and Peter Ducey flat out asked her why. Just days after a second attempt on Trump, the White House continued to call Trump a threat and asked if maybe they might change their verbiage since, they keep saying that they don't endorse political violence against Trump. Her answer said it all. She fumbled her way through, accusing him of asking dangerous questions and implying dangerous accusations, and continued with business as usual. Dangerously. A few days later, we have the news that the DOJ has released court documents that included a letter written by Ryan Wesley Ruth saying he sadly hadn't finished the job and was offering $150,000 to anyone who could. Now, from everything I've read about this guy, he doesn't even have a dollar to his name, and he's not exactly going to wire someone that kind of money from prison. He even declared during his court appearance last week that he has no assets beyond 2 trucks valued at $1,000. But that is not the point. And I am all about the need for government transparency, but it's a little interesting what they're picking and choosing to report here. Just saying. The letter was included in some pretrial detention documents that were released to the public. But before I get into the details here on these documents and how the feds are apparently not doing the best job, I know, who would have thought? This video is brought to you with the help of Blackout Coffee Company. Today, Blackout got me through yet another playground play date, my continued ongoing battle with HP customer support, check out Twitter for that, finishing up the rough draft of a novel, preparing for a house full of company in the midst of a possible hurricane, trying and failing, apparently, to make tinfoil hats, keeping a tiny human alive, and of course working to bring you all your Second Amendment and crazy Trump news, apparently. And all of that was before dinner, my friends, so as you can see, Blackout Coffee will keep you going through your day no matter what it throws at you, and you can drink your cup of coffee, tea, or hot chocolate, knowing it helps support channels like mine and some of your favorite gun rights groups. So to get a cup that you can be proud of, go to blackoutcoffee.com/libertydoll. So apparently this is all coming out because a few months ago, Ruth dropped off a box at a person's home that included the letter. The person didn't open the box until seeing Ruth on the news, and the box contained ammo, a metal pipe, tools, 4 phones, which is a lot for someone with no money. We'll get to more on that in a minute. Some random building materials and several handwritten letters, including one addressed Dear World, which read in part, "This was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, but I failed you. I tried my best and gave it all the gumption I could muster. It is up to you now to finish the job, and I will offer $150,000 to whomever can complete the job." Now, we're gonna try this again here because the only other part of the letter that they typed into the documents accused Trump of behaving like a child, leading to the Middle East unraveling, which is interesting that that's all they included. Though they did include this photo. Now, I'm not suggesting anything specifically, but it's an interesting choice of what exactly they chose to publish when it says right in the documents that they had many other pieces of evidence. And they just include this little snippet conveniently offering money to whoever can successfully Trump. Not redacted at all, despite all of these other manifestos and alleged manifestos that they never wanted to publish for fear of inciting violence towards a man that the DOJ has been going after for years, when there's already questions of how Ruth even knew that he would be there because it wasn't public information. And we all know they did Kennedy. I'm just saying it all kind of conveniently fits. I mean, maybe it's all just a coincidence. But I don't know, tinfoil is pretty stylish, don't you think? From these documents, we also know that Ruth's car had stolen plates, that he had 2 additional sets of plates, another ceramic plate to use as body armor, 6 cell phones, on top of the 4 in that box for someone with no money, a passport, and several documents, including notes with information on Trump's past and upcoming whereabouts. From the phones, they learned that he was planning to flee to Mexico after the attempt on Trump, that he'd been in Palm Beach for a month and had gone to the golf course and scoped out Mar-a-Lago several times. We'd already known that Ruth camped out on the golf course for 12 hours before the Secret Service even noticed him, and there are still questions as to whether or not he was just lucky or had insider information. The Martin County Sheriff is among those asking if Ruth acted alone. This also came out as Florida is still trying to work on an investigation and is allegedly getting pushback from the feds. Late last week, DeSantis claimed the feds weren't being cooperative in Florida's investigation. He said that his investigators weren't even allowed to go to the fence line outside the golf course. Why did I put down the tinfoil hat? I could have used it here too. Despite formally assigning the case to the Office of Statewide Prosecutor under Attorney General Ashley Moody. He says they have every right to investigate as Ruth violated several state laws across 3 jurisdictions, including Martin County. That's the county with that sheriff. He has ordered the police to provide full transparency to the public, saying the public deserves to know the truth as to how any of this happened. At a presser, he said, "It's not in the best interest of our state or our nation to have these same federal agencies seeking to prosecute Donald Trump leading this investigation." And he's not wrong. Moody also weighed in, echoing the same sentiment and adding, "It's awkward, to say the least, to have a prosecutorial agency and an investigatory agency that is bringing charges and seeking to put the victim away for life being the same agency and prosecutors that are going after the would-be assassin." She added, "Sometimes states have the ability and the jurisdiction to bring charges and go after maximum penalties that maybe the federal government does not, and that doesn't mean it's a turf war. It is very common for state investigators, state prosecutors to work with our federal prosecutors and federal agents on dual tracks with different purposes." On the federal level, Ruth is getting charged with 2 gun charges, felon in possession and possession of a gun without a serial number. DeSantis says that since the FBI has called it an attempted assassination, there should be attempted murder charges and that those would be at the state level, provided the feds let them do the investigation so they have the evidence to bring the charges. In the documents, the government says that that letter and that particular snippet of the letter provides the proof that Ruth needs to be detained while they build a case against him, though they also say that it is only a fraction of the evidence against him. And again, it's curious why that is the information that they chose to publish. That is it for this, ladies and gentlemen. Please do all of the algorithm things. You know what they are, especially think of all the tinfoil that was harmed in the creation of this video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you are new here. Ring that notification bell because once in a while we have fun here. And leave a comment down below. And as always, thanks for tuning in and happy shooting.